This
system goes
conference will now
down,
be recorded.
even if your operating system is goes down, your data is safe in that SAN or NAS, right? So that is nothing but an EBS. Assume that EBS is something like a SAN or NAS attached to your virtual machine. That is a EBS based. Instant based means something like in the local itself, that root volume or your C drive is on the it is available on the same machine. So that is what the instant store. So any doubt in this? This is two very important concept.
I have no doubt, Ali. Ali, in the
So feel
meantime, I have
free to ask.
also shared you on a chat the new password.
Sure. Okay. So while creating a server or EC2 instance, please keep in mind, this is very important, guys. So you need to note down what type of instance you are going to create. This is why we need to understand, because if suppose if your server A is running and this is the instance store, and if something happens with the server, usually nobody creates a very I think I can tell you that the ratio between this EBS and instance store is less. Instance store, many people will not usually create that instant memory, because if you stop, even if you stop that server, your data will be lost. Because EBS based, even if your server is crashed or even if your server is down, it doesn't matter, your data is safe on EBS volumes. So EBS based volume, most preference will be given to EBS based volume, less preference will be given to instant based volume. Okay, so and I hope you guys you got the clear difference between these two concepts. Okay, by default, one can create 20 instance per EC2 region. So you can create 20 instances. I mean 20 servers you can create as in one region. So I told you, right? So there are 12 to 15 regions are available across the globe. If we choose in our India, in the Mumbai region, we can create one account can able to create 20 instances, 20 virtual machine per EC2 region you can create, and two high instances also you can, high input output based instances also you can create. You can consider like 22 instances you can create in total per region I'm talking about. So as I explained about the EBS, and one more thing, so it's a general question. So why I'm explaining this much, because so it's general thinking, right? So suppose if what you usually in the production environment, as you guys are working as a technical experts, you know, before patching or something no, going to be rolled out, or for your CI/CD tool your application going to be rolled out, you're going to upgrade your server or whatever the changes you are doing. So before that, usually what you do, you take the complete backup of your operating system, right? Because if application stopped, application started, some changes done, and after rebooting your server is not coming up, so immediately you go and restore your virtual machine. So in case of a bare metal operating system, it's difficult, so there are different tools being used. But in the virtual machine, you usually take a snapshot. If server is not coming up, you will immediately restore it to the old state, and you can get back your operating system within some time and without the downtime, right? So here we call that mechanism as a AMI, pre-configured templates are available and called as a Amazon machine image. Okay, so please understand. So whenever you create one operating system, as and when you create one operating system, that is EC2 instance, in the AMI section, if you go and check, your template is by default it is available. So from the next time onwards, whatever the operating system you created, whatever the resources you used, on the same base of the same template, you can create another virtual machine. So this is called an Amazon machine image, AMI. It's AMI is the thing but a pre-configured template. Okay, so in usually you take a snapshot, right? So for rolling out multiple operating system, or if you're going to install multiple operating system in one big environment, you don't want to create again and again on the same thing. But you using the snapshot, you will be rolling out multiple servers. You can create without, in a one click, you are going just creating a multiple servers in by using the snapshots. So likewise in Amazon, this thing AWS will call it as AMI. So we have total six types, but new one type is being added now. So types of instance, EC2 instances. So we have a general purpose, we have compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, accelerated computing, high memory, So on previous generation, usually the previous generation not being used, or it's not considering, it's just they're bringing in. But this usually the six types are available: general purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, accelerated computing, high memory. So these are the six type of instances. You can, this diagram will represent.
Yeah,
So
one
here,
second.
yeah,
I have a doubt. So we have two types of instances, right? EBS and instance based. One is persistent and one
yeah, yeah.
is block
That's a
type
correct question. I
storage.
got your question. See,
Yeah.
here I'm telling there are two different ways again. So two types of instances is nothing but based on your data. Based on the data, I'm
Okay.
telling two types of EC2 instances. So how the data, where the data is going to be stored. Either your data, suppose say you are going to install operating system where your root volume or your main C volume is stored on the SAN storage directly itself. So based on the
Okay.
connectivity, based on the storage part, I told, but this is based on the resource. Okay, based on the
Which one?
resource, like,
EBS.
yeah. So see, EBS and in-store, those are the
Yeah.
two types. And purpose. So we have a, how many purpose of, how many types of instances in terms of resources, we can say. You can consider in terms of data, in terms of resources.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
so
okay,
correct.
okay.
Please,
Please
please.
go ahead.
Yeah. So
So my
I know.
question was like we on Azure we will look for the performance, scalability, and if we want a hard configuration for a standard specific configuration, we will go for it. So later on we can change it. We can change the entire model itself, like DTU or vCore. We will take DTU and we will configure one standard configuration, and then later on we can go for a vCore. Or if we buy a vCore, then we can go for a DTU model. So
Correct.
like that, can we change if we buy a EBS or an in-store? We can interchange, or how is it after the buying and
Yeah, we
configuration of?
can change it. We can change it. If in case,
Okay,
if you want to scale up or say scale down the based on your requirement on, suppose say in the future there is a requirement that you need to upgrade to the higher capacity or high accelerating computing, you can do it. That is what, before
okay,
going to that, you need to understand like internal mechanism, like whether you are running in store or your EBS backed volume. So before going to that, you need to understand, okay, what type of server I created, whether I
okay,
created instant store backend server or EBS back. So EBS back means it's very easy. So even see, your operating system, actually when there is a server, even if it is down, your data is storing, your main C volume is coming from the EBS volume. Even if a server down, doesn't matter. Okay, so I don't know where I can show this diagram here. So
yeah, I understand. That will be like a temporary storage, and it will write to the hard disk later. Correct.
correct.
Okay. So
One second, I will.
what would be the best performance would be then in store only, right? Is there any licensing
Best
model?
performance is installed, but less preference will be given to that. Suppose if you even if you stop your instance, your data is stored in the in-store, your data will be lost.
Okay.
Okay, and even in EBS, if you stop the instances or disconnected the, suppose in real time in on-premises, what happens? If your storage area network or NAS connected to your virtual machine, if something happens to your local, I mean, where your operating system is getting booted, if that even I mean crashes, means you can have one more option. You can immediately create a new server and you can attach your data to your SAN, right? So your data is completely isolated from your operating system.
Okay.
Okay, so OS is sitting
Wha-
in different place. Your data is sitting in different place. Your OS being loaded from one host, and your data is picked up from the different host. So even if your OS get crashes, you have a data with you. You can put the data into the different operating system. You can start it as and when required. So
Cost wise, which is more?
Sorry.
Cost wise, which would be more costlier, whether it is EBS or in-store?
EBS is little bit costlier because so it stores because EBS will take EBS based again plus some network attached storage. On the network it is flying, right? So both the things will be charged. So EBS is little costlier, and for high availability kind of thing, so EBS is uh, considerable. I mean, it's a best suitable for that environment. Usually, any environment, any application required high availability, so that EBS will provide that.
Thanks, Ali. And what is the scalability? Means, is it elastic or is it a standard fixed volume?
Fixed money means come again.
No, if I configure somewhere around 10 GB or 5
Okay.
GB, so if I want to configure as elastic, is it possible for both the types in store and EBS?
No, no, I did not get your question. So,
No,
what
for
if you
example,
want? Mhm.
yeah, if there is a 5 GB, if I allocate 5 GB, and if
Mhm.
I'm consuming more than 5 GB, it will uh, it will expand by itself, or it will not expand on both the
See, it will
types.
expand. So, dynamic or static, you're asking, right?
Yeah, correct.
So,
Dynamic or
right.
static.
Okay, okay. So, something like in virtualization, there is one this thing. I mean, yeah, there is one concept for that. So, see, if you fix it 10 GB means 10 GB only it will take. So, whatever the
Okay.
static size you give, now it will not cross. So, because initially, while installing itself, it will ask what type of, I mean, how much this thing is needed, how much hard disk is needed.
So that is for both the things. It is equal, is it? Fixed and
Correct.
dynamic, means static and
Yes.
dynamic is there on both the types, in store and EBS. That's what I want to say.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
So initially, while deploying, while installing the operating system, it will show. Okay. So
fine.
let's talk about. As I told you, there are general purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, accelerated computing, and storage optimized. Right. So see here. So whenever you create an operating system, now there is family. Usually in the general purpose you get a T2 micro. T family will comes into picture if you're say whenever you're going to install an operating system, it will ask choose, it will give variety of family types. Okay, suppose if you have chosen X family, then it will be a high computing. So if you choose a T family, then the T family comes under general purpose. Okay, so general purpose instance usually they starts with T family, T3 dot micro, T2 dot micro, and M family also, M6G, M5, M5. So these are the two T and M and A. So these are the three families usually you will see. So because when you are creating EC2 instance now, so it will ask, okay, what type of family you choose, which family you want. So whenever you're creating an operating system, so based on your requirement you will assign, right? So here the family itself will tell, okay, so for this family this much will be there, and this family comes under general purpose. General purpose usually means what? So it's widely used EC2 instant types. So good choice if you're new to the cloud computing, or you're going to explore. So this offers a wide balance of computing power. It will usually general purpose means what? It balance the computing power, memory, and storage for majority of the workloads. So it is not something specific. You can say it is something like balance between compute, balance, optive memory will be balanced, compute will be balanced. So it is balanced between everything. So that is why it is general purpose and usually suitable for the new people who would like to explore more. Okay, and actually it is fixed EC2 instances. Okay, so that is what, and it will cost extra also. Suppose if you want to scale up in the future, so it will cost extra. And in general purpose instances, we have types, family types, that is M5 or M family, T family, or we have a family. Please remember. So when you talk about when you're creating EC2 instance, if you if you notice that T is there or M is there or A is there, then it is nothing but it's a general purpose instances. As you told, it's good for scale out workloads and good for changing workloads in future if you want to change the loads, and it's a balance, good for consistent workloads. So that is why it's called general purpose instance. Okay, and next is a compute optimized. So compute optimized, the name itself suggests that it's like a intensive workloads that get high processors are there, high computing power you required. Suppose you are going to run some R&D based application where good high compute power or more processed applications required, or more computing power. Whenever you think about more computing power required for your application in your laptop, usually you take, right, so i7 processor, so computing power should be high, more cores should be there, so then you will choose for a compute optimized. So that family usually comes in C family, C5 or C6. So these are, whenever you use a compute optimized based on your requirement, so usually your application has a different requirement. Some application you want a very high computing power required, so you want to run those type of applications on compute optimized instances. So general purpose is just like a testing purpose, right? So it's not that high level, but okay, as I told you, just for exploring more, or so it's a mixed kind of things, like the balancing between this compute memory and all. So compute optimized means specifically allocated for more high computing speed, and comes into the C family, C5, C4, C4, C6 and all. So memory optimized, so that is a third one. So the name itself suggests that memory optimized instances are used for memory intensive workloads. So largest data sets or fast speed required. So if you want big data analytics, or running on Hadoop, or usually which is running on big data, Hadoop or Apache Spark, or you need a fast speed for your data sets, you wanted a very high speed applications if you want to deploy. For an example, consider it as your e-commerce based application. So you need a good response whenever you're using your browser, where you're typing your applications, it should immediately, it should provide the response to your end users, or users who are trying to access your website. It should be immediately available, and at that time, so memory optimized, such type of optimized instances being used. So here the family comes as R usually RX, okay, and Z. So see that in the diagram, it represents, I think it is giving more pictorial representation, right? So like R family, R5, R4, R5N, and R6. When you talk about RX, so it is nothing but something like memory based. Okay, you suppose you're going to install and operate EC2 instance in AWS server. So by mistake, if I choose an R family, RX family, so Z family, it means it's a memory. You have chosen memory optimized instances. If you have chosen T2 micro, T3 micro, and M2 micro, like that, then it's a general purpose. So it categorizes, and it gives much explanation. So without looking on the what type of instances are being used, even if you just look at the type, you can easily, if you remember, you can understand, okay, TMF is nothing but your general purpose. If your X is nothing but X, and Z R comes in memory optimized. So this will be little costlier compared to general purpose, guys, because these are used in high level applications, not just the basic applications what the company uses. So any high end applications, like, so Netflix is one of the big customer for the AWS. So an entire Netflix runs on your AWS cloud itself, right? So likewise, they used a high computing resources, high computing servers, accelerated computing, so memory optimized or compute optimized. So like that they will use. They don't go for a general purpose instances usually for the Netflix, right? User, they'll keep their pre-prod or development server, they'll keep it in general purpose. The product, if they are going to run some application in the high-end production, they go for accelerated or compute optimized. So fourth one is your accelerated computing. So accelerated computing generally for high graphics, usually gaming companies are there, right? So that PUBG. So in India we have got, we have PUBG was very popular, right? So for that, lot of accelerated computing required. So a lot of people are connecting to that game, and many people are constantly using that game. For that, more high throughput required, and high GPUs required, and high graphics processing units required. So whenever it graphics things comes, na graphic processing units, or hardware accelerator like graphic processing units, GPUs, or any FPGAs, to enable the high throughput, where as and when they're immediately they're playing a game and suddenly they need some extra power, or then this extra graphics required. So Nvidia GPUs, Nvidia graphics. So those, for those type of gaming applications, they usually consider, when most of the gaming companies, if they're choosing the AWS, then they go for accelerated computing. So those families is P family, P3, P2, and this G family, F1 family usually comes in accelerating. Okay, and so you can see this in machine learning activities also, they will do it in the accelerated machines. Okay, so any graphic intensive, so these things are, they launch it on the accelerated computing. So usually INF is for the inference, G is for the graphics, and F is for FPGA. Okay, then next is your storage. So storage, it's clearly tell that you need a huge storage. So storage optimized instances, you go consider it. So there is a family called I3, I3 Gen, D2, H1. Okay, so it's a SGD backed, and balance between the compute, and it automatically balance between your compute and memory, and your disk performance, where your data is going to be stored. Usually the storage optimized instances, where you have a huge database, usually these DB servers and all now, so they'll keep it on the storage optimized, and not just to the storage, in balance with compute and memory. So just if you're considering storage doesn't mean that you need only storage related required. So some balance between this memory and compute also needed. So storage optimized, it clearly indicate that, okay, you need a more storage and more throughout for the storage. So usually the family is like D, H, and I, you will get it. So depending on your workload and application requirement, based on that, based on your workload and based on your application requirement, you are free to choose your EC2 instant types. Okay, so you need to sit with your team,
And
you need
that
to
can
understand.
be, so share, that can be further change during the course of your learning, that you don't need now this computing in your EC2, you need now this into your computing. Let's say if I start with general purpose, but I realize no, I think I need an accelerated computing to give better service of my application because my customer is demanding more. So I can change that EC2 instance from general purpose to accelerated computing anytime whenever we decide upon, correct? Or there has to be
Yeah, you
some
can change it.
something which we have to consider while changing that.
You cannot change between the different, I mean, different accounts. Okay, it's not possible to transfer the existing instances or AMS between the AWS accounts. Instead, you can manually migrate an EC2 image from one AWS to another. That you can do. And
No.
see,
Hmm.
and that is one type. And
Hmm.
you, you can change when scale up, whenever you're doing a scaling up or scaling down between accelerated, you can do that.
So what you're saying is that I should create an AMI and then get to the next family of computing. So let's say if I
Correct, correct.
started my EC2 instance on a general purpose, uh, I would say, and then I realize no, I need accelerated computing for a better result or better performance of my application and services. So what I should be doing is I should be creating AMI, and then when I take the new EC2, I should request that give me, from this family, this based on my. But within that accelerated family, if I have to go, let's say from the, uh, P3, if I have to go to G4 or G3, I can go immediately based on whatever my needs are, correct?
But see, whenever if you want, see,
Hmm.
you can learn that in the future. So I will show, whenever I'm showing the practicals, it will be easy to understand. So
in
usually what they use, no? So usually they'll take up the backup of that machine, then they will launch it on that particular. So immediately on the fly,
so
you can.
I'm not looking the process how you do it. I'm looking for the reason behind why you do it. I'm asking it. What I want
Mhm.
to know here is in the scenarios, let's say I host my application on an EC2, and when I don't know much, I will start on a general purpose. It could be like a T family. I start my thing. That's what maximum
See,
I will think about.
I got it.
But my
I got it.
my customer realizes that the application is slow now. It needs more robustness. It needs more. They have introduced more graphics in it, and they need more thing and all. So they want to change from T family to G family. So if I have to
Correct.
do that, the process will be what? Can I do it on the back end, or I have to do it
See,
AMI, then take another
there are
EC2?
see, changing the EC2 instances, so types. So that's what you're asking for that. So if you decide that you need to change a EC2 instant type because of a performance or a cost management reason, or if you want to resize it to another instant type, so there are prerequisites. One is virtualization type should be the same. Okay, whether it is on a PV or a HVM machine because EC2 uses virtualization type, so you need to understand like whether what type of this thing hardware virtual machine is being used. So okay, so there hardware virtual machine is being used, so you need to understand that virtualization type should be same. That is one prerequisite, and CPU architecture should be same. So there is a limited support for 32-bit AMIs. So ARM processor, you cannot switch from an Intel CPU instance to AMD CPU instance. One thing, so that should be same. CPU architecture should be same. Virtualization type should be same. Network should be compatible. If you're creating a two different newer instances, need to be in the same VPC or uh, because whenever you talk about EC2 classic instances, those are cannot be restarted to a newer instant type if it is not in the same VPC. So that also matters. So that is a third prerequisite. Network should be compatible. Fourth is a root storage. As I told you, right? The storage should be on a EBS volume. So if it is an instant store, you cannot. If your root storage is on a EBS volume, then you can upgrade your type. So if your root volume is an instant store based on instant store based usually is nothing but an ephemeral storage. In the initial itself I explained, right, when you're installing an operating system, either it's on the instant store or it is on EBS. So EBS back storage only will be able to upgrade. And you need to understand the fifth requisite is based on enhanced networking drivers are installed. So if the new instance supports an advanced networking feature, so you need to install the drivers. Some driver issues might come before the resizing. And some NVMs. For an example, for the non-volatile memory, so the SSD instance will be there. Some instances you do HDD, and some instance you want SSD. So SSD should be there. This is the sixth prerequisite. If these all prerequisites are met, so as and when your client says based on your requirements, you can upgrade your from general purpose to compute optimized. So what
But
is
the process, which you are telling based on your own experiences that you create AMI and then you take to the next family, correct?
see?
You don't do.
Usually we call it as an upgrade or resize. We
Mhm,
can call it as upgrade or we can call it as a resize. So usually
mhm.
what we'll do, we'll move to the new hardware, and but the instant ID will not change. We'll move to the new hardware, the instant like, so we'll assign the whatever the public IP address there. So it depends. See, if any application is totally built on accelerated, every architecture is built, it takes a huge time. It is not so easy because everything your production is completely running on the memory optimized, and you wanted to change it to accelerating. So you need to understand your architecture in better way, whether you configured auto scaling, whether any load balancer in place, what type of this thing is your used, whether you are using storage or EBS. You need to consider your networking part. You need to consider your where your virtual machine hardware HVM hardware virtual machine where is stored. So by considering all the aspects, you need to think and you need to judge and you need to take it over. It's
Yeah,
not so
Mr.
easy.
Mr. Ali, I have a small suggestion.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Mr. Arif and a couple of more people are experts in already. They are into cloud computing and all these concepts. I am not able to follow what you people are discussing. So what I am trying to request is, can we allocate last 15 minutes for the question and answer and discussion session? And the first flow, go with your flow, Mr. Ali.
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
that
See,
work?
usually I completed this thing in the last section only. They have asked the questions. So see,
Okay,
while doing the practicals, you'll get a more understanding of it. Okay.
because I am not able to understand because I am a novice into AWS.
I know. Not to worry. I will.
Yeah,
You can take me on a separate call. Okay. At that
yeah.
time, I'll explain if you're not able. So no need to
Moreover,
worry. So
this PPT slides are not yet shared with us, so that is also concern for me.
I already shared from my side. I'm not.
Ah,
No, I don't know whether. So Nirmala might share it. So I already shared. So you will get it.
mm. Because this group is also not created. We have
This
been
is very
looking.
good question, and usually this is an experienced question. Okay, what
Mm.
Atif and Arif they're asking, this is an
Yeah,
experienced because the client
yeah,
will come and say today I need this, tomorrow he'll come and say I don't know this, I need this. So these changes will be keep on happening because if you're working in the environment, client it is not easy to manage the client. So today someone will change, tell the client okay because a lot of bills is getting generated. I need good computing resources with less. Usually, what the client's aim is to reduce the cost and they need a less cost with a high quality of service. That is what at the end the client will request. So we need to be prepared for that. So that's a definitely a good question. So I hope I answered your question, Arif.
No, no, thank you very much. And we will definitely be cognizant of everything. We'll be. Uh, it's nobody's expert, Cloud is cloud, everybody.
Nobody is expert, so they, as a, so
Everybody is
if
in
my
that stage only. In some
correct.
stage, everybody is. So we will all are learners, and we will ensure that we cover up everybody. So
So based on the
And
experience, based on the